Welcome to this power yoga class inspired by the primary series of Ashtanga Yoga. We want to do some basic poses in this class. So when ready, close your eyes and start to directly focus on your breathing. And on your next exhale, draw pubic bone and tailbone a little bit more to your center, contracting Mula Bandha. Without creating any tension there, just a subtle contraction. And let's draw the center of this area a little bit up. It's called Uddiyana Bandha. And keep that subtle contraction there as well. If this confuses you, then you can also just draw in the lower abdomen. Pull it a little more up and keep that contraction during this practice. If you are familiar with the bandhas, then start to engage the bandha in the throat, engaging the muscles you use when you whisper. It's called Jalandhara Bandha. You can hear the breath in the back of the throat. It's a sound you can hear, but the people around you cannot. This Ujjayi breath, victorious breathing, is going to make you feel more grounded and going to give you more strength, more focus during this practice. While keeping those bandhas active, open your eyes. Come to a standing position at the front of your mat, so we can start with the sun salutation A and sun salutation B. And come to Samastiti, pressing the soles of the feet firmly into the mat and rolling the shoulder blades just a tiny bit back and relaxing the arms alongside the body. Drawing the chin just a little bit in. On the in-breath, sweep the arms sideways up. It's one long inhalation, and as you exhale, you start to bend forwards. On the in-breath, lift the chest halfway up. Exhale, step back, plank. First ones are going to be with the adjustment, so lower your knees down. Bend your arms, lower the belly and chest down on the mat, and roll the shoulder blades back to the spine, not using the hands that much, just the muscles in the back for the cobra. When you exhale, you release, tuck under the toes, and press up to downward dog. Or if you rather want to keep the knees on the mat, that is fine. And there are not really rules for this downward dog. Just make it your own. So feel what is the most comfortable position for your downward dog. So the feet may touch or maybe hip distance apart. The knees can be bent. Maybe the fingers are pointing more to the side or more in. It's all depending on the proportions of your body. Feel if you're still using that Ujjayi breath in the back of the throat, that contraction in the lower abdomen. And on the in-breath, push yourself a little bit through the hands and look at your hands and lightly step or walk your feet in between the hands. In, lifting up to a diagonal. Exhale, full forward fold, knees are slightly bent. Inhale, sweep the arms sideways up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, arms up. And on a slow exhalation, bend forward. Try to do everything in slow motion, synchronizing the movement with the breath. In, lift up to a diagonal. Exhale, step it back, plank, with or without the knees on the mat. Bend the arms, lower the body down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, press back up to downward facing dog or tabletop or child pose. Root down the heels towards the mats. Even though the knees can be bent, you can still root down the heels and make it light. It feels like you're standing in an elevator and the elevator is going down instead of up. That's what you feel. Feel the ribs expand to the sides on the in-breath. On the exhale, moving the belly a little more to the thighs. And on the next in-breath, lengthen a little bit more. Exhale, look at your hands. Backward jump in between your hands. In, lift the torso halfway up. Exhale, bending forward. Inhale to rise, arms up. Exhale, arms alongside the body. This was Surya Namaskar A. Let's do Surya Namaskar B. Bend your legs like you want to sit in a chair. Utkatasana, reaching the arms forwards. See if you can still see your toes, pressing the ankles and knees close together. Lower the arms down, and as you inhale, you sweep the arms sideways up. And on the exhale, bending forward, lengthening those legs. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, step it back, vinyasa. Now bend your arms, lower the body down on or off the mat. Inhale, roll over the toes. Exhale, press up, downward dog. Now turn in that right heel and step the left foot next to the left hand. Inhale to rise, navel is pointing to the front of the mat. This is Virabhadrasana 1, and on the exhale, lower the hands down for your vinyasa. Step it back to plank. Lower the knees down on the mats if you're doing adjustment. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, press it up to downward dog. Now turn in the left heel and step the right foot forwards. Keep the hips low as you strongly rise up to warrior 1. Exhale, vinyasa. Land your hands on the mats. Plank position, lower the knees down if you want. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, downward dog, and this is where we are going to stay for a couple of breaths. Checking into the body, into the breath, and into the minds. Deep in breath. Exhale, look at your hands and step or jump in between your hands. In, lifting the upper body halfway up, parallel to the floor. Exhale, bending forward and lower the sitting bones down like you're sitting in a chair again. Yeah, nice. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Samastiti. One more time, Surya Namaskar B. Lower the hips back down. Chair pose, arms up. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, bend forward, lengthen the legs. In, lift the torso halfway up. Exhale, vinyasa. Plank position. Bending the arms, lower the body down with control. And on the in-breath, open up the chest. Legs are strong. Exhale, press back up to standing. Turn in the right heel, step the left foot forward. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower, vinyasa. Plank position. And lower the body down. Open up the chest, roll the shoulder blades back, and exhale, press it up. Turning in the left heel now, stepping the right foot forwards. Virabhadrasana 1. Stay focused. Exhale. Vinyasa. Plank position. Keep pulling that navel in, those bandhas active. And press up. Downward facing dog. Chin to the chest. If you feel tension in the neck, then roll the shoulder. Roll the head a little from side to side. Roll the shoulder blades away from the head. Feel that engagement on the top of the legs. You can lift up the kneecaps without locking the knees. Breathing in. Out, look at your hands and step or jump back in between your hands. In, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, chair pose on the inhale. Exhale, Samasthiti. Then put your hands in front of the chest, shift your weight to the right foot, and step the left leg a length width away. Turn in the heel, finding warrior two. So lift up the arms parallel to the floor. Shoulders soft. Take a deep in-breath here. As you exhale, you're going to reach forward, landing that right elbow on your thigh and sweeping the left arm overhead. Utthita Parsva Konasana. And push that right knee a little more forward, but keep the weight on both feet. Feel the in-breath. And the exhale, look down. Inhale, come back up, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, reach forward, repeat, or lower that right hand down next to the foot with the hand flat on the mat, reaching the left arm up in line with the right this time. So we're not going to reach it overhead, but we're going to stay here. And engaging that inner right thigh and rolling the left hip a little more open. Lengthening the neck, breathing in. Out, look down. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. And from there, extending that front leg, preparing for Trikonasana, triangle pose. And when you feel you are ready to exhale, you're going to reach that right arm forward, as far as it is willing to go. And now lower the hand down, either on your leg or flat on the floor. And take the gaze to the left hand. And roll that left hip a little bit more open and the right hip a little more underneath the torso. And feel how everything in the body is long. If the neck is not feeling okay here, just look down. Breathing in, reaching the left arm a little more up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, strongly rise. Now bend that left knee just a little bit so you can step to the front of the mat back to Samasthiti. And now shifting the weight to the left foot so we can do everything to the other side. Stepping the right foot back, a leg length away. Turning the heel, warrior two. Extending the arms, pressing the outer edge of that back foot into the mat. The navel is pointing to the side of the mat here. Deep in-breath. Exhale, reach forward, landing that left elbow on your thigh and reaching the right arm overhead. And always careful with the neck. If you feel it's better to look down or to the side, you just do that. On the inhale, come back to Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, repeat this pose or lower that left hand down on the mat, flat on the mat, and now extending the right arm in line with the left. And feel the opening of the sides of the torso. On your exhalation, you're going to look down, using the strength of the inhalation to rise to warrior two, and from there extending the left leg, preparing for a triangle pose. Now reach forward until you are being stopped, and lower that left hand down next to the foot or on your leg. Taking the gaze to the right hand, Dristi. And let's open the ribs on the right side a little bit more. It's a lot of energy, this pose. And on the inhalation, let's come back up again. Press to the right foot and rise. And step it forwards. Hands in front of the chest, deep in-breath. Now step that left leg a leg length away and turn to the side of the mat. Arms to the side. Toes are pointing in, the heels out. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Let your hands slide alongside the shins and feel how low they can go. Maybe grabbing the outer edges of the feet, maybe with a peace finger, the big toes, or keep your hands on your shins. Let's inhale and lift halfway up, create a little more length. Exhale, fold again. Keep the bandhas active, especially here to release the shoulders and the neck. Lift up the arches of your feet and press them in the outer edges of the feet. And breathe in. And with every exhale, feel if you can relax a little bit more here. And out. Now walk your hands underneath the sternum. In, lift halfway up. Put your hands on your hips, and on the exhale, rise a little more. And turn in that right heel so you can step back to the front of the mat. Feet hip distance apart. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. You're going to do a forward fold and bend the knees. And now you're going to carefully lift up the right ball of the foot and put your right hand underneath the right foot like that. And let's do that on the other side as well. On the in-breath, lifting halfway up. Exhale, folding a little bit more. And your knees can be bent a lot. And try to shift your weight a little bit more to the balls of the feet. Breathing in. And out. And then carefully release one hand at a time from underneath your feet. And lower the hips down. And come to a seat. Okay, then extend your legs. Dandasana, pressing the hands next to the hips into the mat and flexing your feet. It looks like a very simple pose, but it can be very intense. So you're reaching the crown of the head up, but you're rooting down the sacrum into the mat. And feel the in-breath here. And on the exhale, I'm going to hinge the torso forward. So maybe along the way you need to bend your knees to keep that spine straight. Then reach your hands over the shins to the ankles, or maybe grabbing the big toes with the peace fingers. And on the in-breath, lifting halfway up. Exhale, lengthen forwards. Rather lengthen the spine forward than that you're rounding the spine. Don't want to round the spine. Even though the legs are bent, you can press those back of the legs into the mats. Noting if the bandhas are still working, or maybe you're letting go. Try to keep them active. And breathing in. And out. Then first look at your toes, and on the in-breath slowly come back up. Now bend that right leg, grab your foot. If you can do a half lotus, then you put your foot on the left thigh, and otherwise the sole of the foot is touching the inner thigh. Press to the tops of the fingers to come a little more to the front edges of the sitting bones. And breathing in, lifting the crown of the head up. And on the exhale, lengthen forward. And with the right hand, you're going to grab the outer side of the left foot or the left leg. And extend that left arm behind you. And breathe into this twist. Don't need to pull up the shoulders to the ears. And let's change, circling the left arm forward, grabbing your leg or your foot, and open up the right arm. And breathe. Coming back to the front. And let's change, extending the right leg, bending the left, maybe a half lotus if that's available for you. Press the tips of the fingers into the mat, and on the in-breath, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bending forwards, grabbing your shin, your ankle, or the foot. With the left hand, the outer edge of the right foot or right leg. And let's twist, circle open the right arm. Breathing into this twist. It's a little more difficult to breathe here. But you're going to be fine. And let's circle back and open up the other side. Opening up the left arm. Opening up the chest. Breathing in. And out. And from here, come back. And then spread your legs as wide as they are willing to go. Keep the feet flexed. And again, make sure you're on the front edges of the sitting bones. On the inhale, circle the arms sideways up. Exhale, hinging forward, lowering the hands down. And on the in-breath, lift halfway up again. Exhale, lengthen more forward. With your hands, going to reach for your legs. Grab the legs wherever you want to grab them, wherever you can grab them. Some people can grab the feet. If you feel the spine is rounding too much, please bend your legs or bring the legs a little closer together. Deep in-breath here. Lengthen the spine with every in-breath. And on the exhale, release from the sitting bones, from the hips. Inhale again, lengthen. Keep pressing through the soles of the feet. Exhale, Ujjayi breath. And on the inhale, slowly come back up. Bringing the legs back together. Rolling on your back. Now pull in that right knee, and with your peace fingers, you're going to grab that big toe. Left hand is on the left hip. Press that left hip down and see if you can extend that right leg. If you cannot extend it as you are holding the big toe, then grab your shin. Take a deep in-breath here, flex both feet. And on the exhale, we're going to roll the shoulder blades away from the spine, like you want to touch your knee with your nose. And inhale, roll back. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, release. Exhale to rise. In, up. Exhale, come back up. Inhale to release. Exhale to rise. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, up. And now release. Bend that left leg. With the left hand, grab that right leg and twist it to the left. And take a look to the right, twisting the neck. Keep your bandhas active. Your feet are still flexed. And breathe. And then carefully roll your back on the mat. Extending the right leg, now bending the left. With the peace fingers of the left hand, gonna grab that big toe. Right hand is pushing the right hip down. Now extend that left leg. Feel if you can extend it, otherwise grabbing the shin. Take a deep in-breath, back is heavy on the mat, and on the exhale, lift up the chest, nose is going to the knee, and inhale, release. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale, come up, pull in the navel. Inhale to lower. Exhale to rise. Inhale down. Exhale up. One more time on the in-breath down. And one more time up on the exhale. And now release, bending that left leg. The right hand is going to grab the outer side of that bended leg and going to help it all the way to the right for a twist. Releasing the left arm to the side, follow that hand. And keep the legs still active, flexing the feet. Feel the bandhas. Breathing into the twist. And roll your back on the mats. Arms alongside the body. Cross your ankles. Roll yourself up to seated. We're going to do triplet handstand. So we're going to do it step by step. So you can go as far as you want to go. I want to warn you, if you have issues with your neck, just don't do it. If you doubt, it's better to do this with a teacher. But if you're familiar with it, then just follow me and you can always stop. Come on your knees and your hands. And now walk your hands a little more towards your knees, in a way that you can put the crown of the head on the mat. So make sure that the elbows are not going to point to the side. That is very important. The elbows are going to bend, but they're going to bend to the back of the mat. So put the crown of the head on the mat, curling under the toes. Walk your hands under your elbows. So the hands are going to be more underneath the elbows. Yeah, like that. This is a strong foundation. You're going to be fine here. The first step, you can stay here or do the second step and start to lift up your knees away from the floor like you're doing a downward dog on your head. But make sure this is light in the neck. So really use your abdominal muscles or your bandhas. You can stay until it is enough, or you can walk your feet more forwards. Maybe you want to put one knee on an elbow and maybe another one as well. If that's possible, then bring the big toes together. Keep that core engaged. That's super important, that you do not have that much weight on your head. You can stay here forever, or carefully relax the toes back down on the mat, finding child pose. And let's all release the toes down carefully. Soft the knees down on the mat, sitting bones towards the heels, and take a moment in child pose. And when you feel okay again, you come back up to seated. And from the seated position, bring the soles of the feet together, with the thumbs on the balls of the feet and the fingers on the tops of the feet. Feel the stretch on the inside of the legs. And then open your feet like a book, like you're opening up a book. Feel that movement on the inside of the legs, making it a little more intense. And lengthen the spine on the in-breath. And on the exhale, with this long spine, you're going to hinge a little bit forward for more stretch on the inside of the legs, if that's possible for you. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring your knees back together. And let's go to a well-deserved Shavasana. Roll yourself down on your back. Pull the shoulder blades more back. Maybe you want to move them a little more away from the neck. Roll them down. You can choose to open up the palms of the hands if that feels more relaxed for your shoulders, and otherwise just turn them back in. Feel the length of the neck. And feel if the spine is okay as it is, otherwise you bend your legs. You can support your legs with something. Just make sure that you are comfortable. If the knees are bent, you can drop them in, or some people like to drop them out. And let go of your bandhas, your core. Don't need them anymore. Surrender to the earth. With every exhale, feel the body becoming heavier and heavier. And slowly return back to this place. Take a deep in-breath to round the spine, the belly. Exhale, feel the weight of your body here on the mats. And do whatever feels okay for you now, where the body craves for. Maybe it's nothing, maybe you want to pull in the knees and sway a little from side to side, or give yourself a stretch. And when you are ready, turn on the right side of the body. Having a moment here. And slowly press yourself up to seated. Close your eyes. Feel what the practice gave you. And whatever that is, it's a gift. Feel the natural flow of your breath. And feel the body as it sits here. And open your eyes. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, touch your forehead, your heart, your belly. Namaste. Thank you for joining.